Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Cosmic Starseed Academy. These are the Pleiadian Sunday School sessions. The date is the 25th of January, 2026, and it is 7:45 p.m. here in Ireland. I'm sure most people have heard that there are different weather situations around the world. Um, a lot in America, but it's not limited to America, and I don't believe that these are natural at all. Um, Lots of cold weather. Um, Sharon, who just joined the group on Wednesday, sent me a text that I think this morning, that there was a volcano somewhere as well that erupted. So I don't know what the situation about that is, but I know that there's a big storm coming to the UK, which will also affect Ireland. I think from the 28th of January up. It, I think it's meant to be 7 or 10 days. Um, and so I don't feel any of that is natural. Do please keep an eye on your local weather forecast reports and all of that, and get food and water and um, all the essential supplies and everything like that. And um, just share the message. If you have friends in places like New York or where there's going to be bad weather, please, kind of just let them know. Um, so we're joined this evening by Nancy, Christy, Chris, Dia, Emily, Amira, and Seth. I never like reading out your surnames, guys, but I know it's on the screens for most of you. Um, but Yesterday was very powerful, and my voice was very loud. And today I'm kind of a bit flat with my energy. Um, and Amira is going to do a Pleiadian light language, and Christy is going to channel Rentaurus for us as well. So I don't think there's anything else I need to say. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else I need to say. Oops. So, welcome back, guys. So recently, someone was asking me, I know who it is, but I'm not going to say, but someone was asking me about the Pleiadians, like who are they? So I wanted to, oh, I wanted to, I wanted to share some of what I know to be true, is that they are tall, blonde, blue-eyed, pale skin, a blue aura around them, extremely loving beings, very high frequency, very positive alien ET race. So I just wanted to kind of share that with you. Um, and I know Ashtar Commander to be the chief spokesperson for the Pleiadian Collective. So yeah, I just wanted to share that little bit with you. Um,
Thank you so much. I can relate to the tall part and the blue eyes, but I do not have blonde hair, and I'm learning to be more loving. So I'm halfway there, you know. I got a long way to go. I'll do it. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get a hair transplant, like just like Donald Trump's comb over. Get one of those on the go, and then start to be a bit more love and light. Get that on the go, and I'll be just like a Pleiadian then.
Yeah.
Lol.
Yeah. I had a Pleiadian visit me real quick before I do this. I had a dream last Friday, not this Friday, but last Friday, I was at a wedding or something, and then after that, I was going to a reception, and then I had to go to work. And I come across this tall blonde, like totally white face, totally almost white hair, wearing that blue, different blue colored uniform and stuff. And um she was doing something healing or doing something to a guy in a chair. And then I said, I'm gonna, be next or whatever. And I was washing something, doing something, and then there's a table, like those little island tables that are in the kitchen, and it had
Yeah.
stools. Well, she was just sitting there. She was sitting there on the stool, sitting there like if she was gonna order a drink or something. Then I come sit there and we're talking. I don't know, we're talking. And then like I touch her fingers. They're long, long, like they're long fingers, and I was looking at them and we were talking, and like a blue spark or something, a blue spark or two came out of this fingers, and we were talking, and then I woke up. But she wants me to call her Anita, so I call her Anita. There's a couple of ET. If it's one or two ETs, I named them, Earth names, I named them. So yeah, it was this beautiful woman and everything. And then that whole day and Saturday, last Friday and Saturday, I was in a good mood. I was happy, like really like, you know, happy, really just happy go lucky type.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
You should try to, summon them again. Or, if
I'm
you
trying them.
yeah,
I'm
before
I'm
you go to
trying to
sleep,
eat.
just say, hey, here I'm coming. If you want to chat, that'd be very great of you.
I want to know how to connect to them and have them visit, or how to
Yeah,
talk
just
to them.
I mean, I have no luck at this, but just focus on it before, like, while you're going to sleep. If
Uh-huh.
you have a bedtime ritual.
Right. Um,
Okay,
yeah,
Amira,
so
so are you almost ready?
I am ready. Did you
I
hear
mean,
my experience
I
or
did.
my
That's
latest?
really great. I did.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. She was cool.
I'd like to share with you guys sometimes. I would like to share with you the time that I met a Pleiadian woman in like
Okay, well,
actual
tell
life.
us
It's
now.
a wild thing. No, are you sure? Do you want to do your
Yeah,
thing?
I want to hear.
Everyone mute.
Let me shut my door.
so welcome back, guys. Yes, please, everyone mute. I'm not sure who said that, but thank you. Um, so Amira is going to do a Pleiadian light language this evening, and then Christy Clark, who also offers services as well as a professional channel for Renturis, is also going to be doing a channeling, but he also offers services, and he's also based in Ireland, in Dublin. So you can check his website out. And Amira has a Facebook page as well, if you'd like to check her out. So, Amira, please, before we start, what is your Facebook page? And then Christy, if you'd like to share your website as well.
My Facebook name, my name is Amira Hill, but my Facebook name is Noor, Noor, which is Arabic for light. I am half Arabic, so that's my favorite name. And then Khojah. That was my biological father's last name. I had an original one with my original name, but it got hacked in 2020, so I had to make a new one and start all over. But yes, it's Noor and then Khojah. But yes, my real name is Amira. I have TikTok. It's Pleiadian Amira 82. And I have Instagram, which is Amira Hill 9. And then I do have a YouTube, it's Amira Hill or Amira's channel. So I have a LinkedIn too. So I have a lot of different social medias and I have WhatsApp too.
That's great. Thanks, Amira. And Christy, what is your website?
I'll put my website up on the side chat, Soma, for people to see here in the group. It's connectingtostars.com, but I'll put it up on the side, anyone that's interested.
Yes. Thanks, Christy. Um, okay, guys, so I thank you for doing this, and let's make a start. So, Amira, when you're ready, Amira's going to do a Pleiadian light language, um, and she's going to keep her camera off for this. Um, so I'm going to put myself on mute.
Okay, I'm gonna do Nikakai ni chikokoi apakai ni kachin na kakwa na pakaki na kakai chikani nana poitin pakai ni poi shikiki kakai ni chitati kakan na poki kakai tipa kakai na kai shikakai apapai kakai na kakai shikakai kikikikoi akapai kakai ni kika kakai shikakapito patani na kakai ni kakaina Kina kakaina, kakai shipakoya, kakai. Kakai ni kakai shipoy shikakai, kakai. Papa kakai, papa na munakina, kakai shika. Kakai na papaya kishiba. Kakena, kakana, kakaye, kakaye, kakaye. That is my native language from my home planet.
Thank you, Amira. As you were doing that, some of the people on the screen would have seen I had a big shiver when you were doing that. Um, thank you so much. That was lovely. And
Yes,
uh,
thank you.
yeah. And Christy Clark is going to channel Venturus for us as well this evening. So, Christy, whenever you're ready,
You're muted, Christy.
I'm just going to log out and log back in again. Is that okay? Just give me 2 minutes.
okay.
Thank you.
I feel like we should be playing some interval music, but I don't have any. So, um, okay, welcome back, guys. We were just taking a break and having talking amongst ourselves there. Christy Clark is going to do a channeling with Venturus. So over to you, Christy.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me and giving me the opportunity to bring through to us, belong to us.
Greetings. I am Renturis Voluntrius, and thank you for having me here in this now moment of your time. I am aware of your conversations. I again have been listening through this one here, and I have some insight as to the energy within the room. And again, I would suggest that you pay some attention to that area on an individual basis. I am aware, we are aware also that there is a lot happening on your planet. I can see by each individual here tonight that yes, have some concerns as to how things will play out. But again, I would ask that you pay some attention to really what you're manifesting and what you're downloading, because this can have an impact on your well-being and have an impact on how you view yourself and the world around you. Yes. It is important to get some insight as to what is happening from another perspective, and I am always available to come forward and give you some insights as to what I see, to what we see. But again, it's important that you become aware also as to how the situation on your planet is affecting you on an individual basis. This is important for you at this time. There is a lot of changes happening on your planet. And for you who are aware of these significant changes, it's important for you on a personal level to tap into what you feel is important for you at this time. All these significant happenings on your planet that are playing out at this time can have an impact on your overall well-being. You are aware of this. You do understand it's important for you to try and understand and to see where this is going and how it will play out for you on an individual basis. But again, I support you in changing your view as to how you see that and how you play in that reality, as it can have an impact on how you bring us into your awareness, let's say. I do see that there is many of you that are connecting to your star family, and they will continue to come forward and offer guidance and support. But there is a certain amount of information that is, I won't say not necessary to take on board, but it is important to be aware that the information that is coming through at this time, not just from me, from many of the beings that are giving information to channelers on this planet at this time, it's important to be aware of the impact as to how this information is portrayed, let's say. For any of you who have not met me in the past, I am Renturis Voluntrius, and I have been around this one now for some time, and I continue to support and offer guidance. But I am aware of the information that comes through in this way, because I am aware of the impact that, again, the information it can have on the individual that is, let's say, listening or taking the information through in various ways. So now I will take questions from you if you have a question, or if you would prefer for me to just continue to give an update as to what I see on a personal level. I could go there also.
Where are you from? Like, what group are you with? or what planet are you from? A little background would be great, please.
Yes, yes. Well, we come from Antares in the Scorpion constellation, and I am a creator being.
Thank you.
Yes, yeah.
I
Please
had a
continue.
dream. I had a dream, oh God, like a month or two ago, and like I was somewhere and somebody was mentioning that for me to look up at Antares star system, and somebody was telling me that people from Antares are gonna come, or and then also I was to look at the Antares star system.
Yes, that is interesting that you have received that. Please continue.
Can you add anything about yesterday's conversation about the chemtrails, for instance, and putting a stop to that? Because I see things a little differently than the message that came through. And I'd like to know your viewpoint.
Yes, certainly. We can give a viewpoint on the chemtrails, but again, we will be very briefly. There is so much information coming forward at this time regarding chemtrails and many situ and many situations on your planet that is affected not just by chemtrails, but there is a lot of situations at this time playing out that is having an impact on all. And chemtrails are still happening, and they're happening for various reasons. Um, there is a lot of speculation wanting and demanding that the chemtrail stop. Um, there has been some interference, um, we would say, by different groups off your planet that are trying to interject and try to prevent these situations from playing out. Um, but we would say at this time that um, that is going unnoticed on your planet for various reasons. We would say um, there is various agendas playing out on your planet at this time, as you see, not just with chemtrails, and they continue to have an impact that we see on the collective. But we at this time see chemtrails as quite negative and quite dangerous. But again, we would say that we are interacting, we would say, we believe at that. There's certain things that I would not say during this channeling session, but there is a lot of, we would say, talk at this time on the issue on your planet, and we are observing that for various reasons, because it's not just impacting you, it's impacting us also.
So you mentioned there's talk at this time. So is there any support from any galactic beings in order to eradicate this behavior, these activities?
That is ongoing also.
What's that?
That is ongoing also.
What does that mean?
There is interaction from various races trying to support what you are discussing, which is the effects from chemtrails on your planet. There is various races involved in that.
Okay, good to know. I thought we were just all here, just ourselves trying to handle all this.
Well, sadly, you are in a situation at this time which is, we do understand, quite um, difficult to accept. Um, I can see through your question there, I can sense your anxiety coming across, knowing that it is happening and there's nothing being done about it. But we can assure you that there is intervention happening at this time for various races of the planet, and that is ongoing, and it has been for some time.
Okay. I have heard the mega dragons are helping to stop them.
Yes, there is different races involved and they are doing what is necessary and what they're allowed to do.
Allowed. Interesting.
Yes, yes.
So that means nobody can put a full stop to it? Is that what you're saying?
Well, if you just, it's interesting that question also. If that was the case, the chemtrails wouldn't be occurring at this time. So you can see it is happening still on your planet. So as I have said, there is races involved, different races that are working with various um, parts of your government and your military to try and stop this situation. But it is ongoing, and you can see it today, and it is happening on your planet. But as I said, there is work being done at this time to try and prevent that and the harmful effects it's having on humanity and the planet.
Can you say, sorry, Dia, can you say what some you said there are some interventions going on? Can you say of what nature those are?
Not at this time.
I'm still a little troubled by this allowed, what they're allowed to do.
Yes, well, there is only some information that I can bring forward because I am also questioned also, even though I come in from a different realm, I am also aware of the information that I'm bringing forward too. So please be aware of that also. When somebody comes forward from another realm and that question is put to them, a lot of the time we do our best to give a response that will help you to understand that there is something happening to prevent not just chemtrails on your planet, but various situations that are playing out.
Yeah.
So there is ongoing work. Sadly, we cannot give the answer that you want now is that we can stop that immediately. That is not the case. So I do hope you understand my response to you. There is constant work in that area to address that issue.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Please continue.
Thank you, Ranchuris and Christy. Is there anything I guess my question is also being a channel and also being connected to you. Sometimes and Christy is aware of this, sometimes I have had a session with Christy and with yourself, and I felt you very strongly in my presence after the session or after the call. Is there anything that because I feel that 2026, what I've been shown and feel, and what I've been shown from Ashtar and the Pleiadians is that this year is very powerful. And some information last night came through of that ilk. Is there anything you'd like to share about 2026 and the positive changes on planet Earth? And also, we have a situation on Earth at the moment that I feel will get worse regarding weather and volcanoes and earthquakes and all of that, which I don't feel is natural. Is there anything you'd like to say to that as well?
Yes, of course. Yes, that is an interesting question. So again, 2026 again is started. You're now coming to the end of your first month of the year, and things are beginning to hot up already. As we can see, there is various discussions with different parts of your governments on their planet on various topics. But again, I would ask you to be aware and the Ashtar Command and the Pleiadians and other races that come forward to give information on various topics that will allow you to feel and sense possibly what's coming down the line. And I say this so you understand, there have been many times in the past where you have brought information forward and various other channels to give to your listeners, to allow them to understand all, we would say, possibilities of earth changes in the coming year or the coming months. And they did not materialize. And sadly, that again goes on to have an effect, not just on the channel, but again on the people who are wanting this information. So I can bring some information forward that will allow you to understand really what is important to you and to your listeners at this time. And that is to be aware as to where you are going on an individual basis. Where is your spiritual awareness going at this time? I am aware and I do understand the impact on your planet and the situations that continue to play out is having an effect on each one of you. And I would ask you to be aware of that also. Just think about that for a moment. It is important to try and understand where things are going on your planet in this year. But again, we have said in the past, I have said in the past, through this channel, there is nothing set in stone as regards to how things will play out on your planet, as regards to our intervention. We will come forward on an individual basis and work with you. But it is important for you also to understand that you also have some work to do. And that is happening from you, and it's happening from many here in the call. So what I am saying is there is assistance coming to your planet as we speak. This year has started quite interesting. You speak about the weather changes. You speak about the various situations on your planet that has triggered within the last few weeks. That is also interesting. So where you are going from that, we again can give you a positive answer as to how that would play out. There is different races out there that will do their best to try and interject and support. But there is only so much that we can do. And I say that so you understand that the rising has to come from within. So it is important for you to take it back to self. And that is not directed to anyone here in the room. It's anyone that who is listening will understand. As this one has said on numerous occasions, this is an inside job. And it is. I do understand when the situation's happening on your planet, you are looking for answers. And sometimes you can't find those answers, and you are looking to the star family, the different races that are coming forward to help you at this time, to give you some idea as to how this is going to play out. I do understand your frustrations. Your planet at this time is, I won't say in bad shape, but there's a lot happening on your planet that is having an impact. And that's not just coming from chemtrails. So I don't want to sound as though I am coming across in a negative way, but I do hope you understand that for 2026, yes, it can be a wonderful year if you want it to be a wonderful year. And that goes back to what I have said earlier on. Be aware as to what you are listening to, the impact that is happening on you on an individual basis.
Mm.
So it's important to pull away from, what would I say, the information that is coming forward to you through your news outlets, through open conversations. It is happening. But I ask you again to be cautious as to where you take that information. Your history books have written many stories, and you have all researched this information. And a lot of you are still trying to figure out where this is going. So it is important for you to make a choice, draw a line in the sand and say, well, okay, what do I want? I know what you want, and you know what you want. And sometimes that is quite difficult to find because there's a lot happening. You are now becoming aware of all these situations that are playing out, as it's given to you on a day-to-day basis through social media. So I ask you to maybe take a step back, not completely. You are going to want this information to try and figure out what is happening. But be aware, as I said, the impact it's having on you on an individual basis. Putting your focus somewhere else is necessary at this time. And that is why I come through this one here, supporting him also, so he understands. So finding that place I do see can be difficult, but it is quite close. Yeah. We are talking about meditations, we are talking about solitude, we are talking about turning away from what you are receiving on a day-to-day basis, which a lot of the time is coming from fear. And again, I do understand, you do understand the impact it's having on you. And it is important that you can come together as a community in this way and voice your concerns and your opinions. But there also comes a point where you have to be aware also as to the impact it's having on you on an individual basis. So,
May I ask a question?
yeah. Yes.
Is it correct to assume that, let's see, let's say that we are discerning about what we're taking in online information, and we don't gravitate towards the fearful stuff? Is it still rather damaging to be online, as in terms of, frequencies that we're getting from our computers and Wi-Fi and stuff like this? I guess, how much does just having our phone in our hand or in our pocket affect our general wellness?
Yes. That's a very interesting question. And again, we are here having this call through what you call your internet. And this call again is coming from a nice experience, even though the conversation is opened up regarding the situation on the planet. You are aware also the impact that social media is having on your well-being. Again, as I have said to this one in the past, be aware as to what you're taking in through your ears and be more focused on what's coming in from the stars. And what I meant by that is that a lot of the information that is coming forward, yes, it's interesting. Review that content. You have an opinion and you move on. But over time, you begin to understand that a lot of the information that you're downloading from the social media is beginning to have an impact on your mental health, on your overall well-being. And I have watched, and we have watched how you have tried to remove yourself from that whole platform, which is switching the devices off. And as I've said, going back into nature, grounding yourself, quieting your mind in your meditations, allowing yourself to feel that vibration and frequency. As soon as you turn on your news on your TV in your home, again, you're faced with another situation. And that situation, a lot of the time, is having an impact on you. You may not be aware of it in the present moment because you were so engrossed in what the content is. And it continues, and it continues. A lot of the time in moderation, but again, there is some information that you're downloading that is not sitting too well. And you're trying to figure out what is the outcome? Where is this going? And sadly, that has been the case. So I would suggest, yes, try and move away from your devices. There was a time that you didn't need them. And now that they're there, it is difficult. We do understand to switch off your electronics. It is difficult. I do understand. But for your survival, it is key at this time. It is a wonderful way to communicate. But it also has a negative impact and continues to do so on many levels. You are aware of this also. So I would suggest again, be aware as to what you're downloading. Everything in moderation.
Thank you for the answer.
You are welcome. Please continue.
Does anyone have any questions for Christy and Venturas?
I'm always curious about what their life is like. Like, what do you, I know you don't have a day, right? Like time is very different, but what is life like? Are you eating food? What kind of food? How do you wash? What do you wear? What do you
Yeah.
do?
Well, for me, that is interesting because I can take a physical form or I can remain in energy. A lot of the times I remain in energy only. But I can take a physical form and I can visit a particular race because of my position. So there is various races that I pay attention to, that I interact with. But being a creator being is quite different than what you call, or what you would call an extraterrestrial being. Different in many ways. When it comes to diet, it's interesting because you have different races that have different diets, of course. For our diet is quite healthy. You are aware of this also. I am aware that you have looked into this yourself. But that is okay. I will answer your question just to give the audience some insights. Yes, our selections of foods is quite interesting. When we are hungry, let's say, it is pure. There is no contamination. Mainly fruits, clean water. That is why we look so well. That is why we live so long. I'm saying this also again to help you to understand the importance for you to be aware as to what you're manifesting on an individual level.
What do they look like? I'm very curious. And what's the planet like?
Well, Antares is quite large. It's quite old. Um, and this one here, the convent, as you call them on Earth, or the channel, we came from that planet. And I say we because this one here, I am this higher self. So there is an aspect of me within me. So he has had many incarnations like you in various places in the solar system. He has come back to Earth at this time. This is why I come forward. I hope my English is okay. I'm learning as I move along. But you are aware also that their technology is quite advanced on many levels. They are quite ahead of you as a race when it comes to health and nutrition, technology, and it's used in the best way, of course, to help not just the race itself, to help the universe. And that is why you have a lot of attention at this time around your planet from different races or beings that are coming forward to support you on an individual basis.
I have a question. Um,
Mm,
I don't know if it's okay to ask it now, or would you like me to wait?
of course, I will answer your question now if you are ready.
Thank you. Um, so in America, predominantly, not exclusively, but predominantly in America, there are certain three-letter agencies that have been set up for various negative reasons. And they seem to be using technology to target certain groups of hybrids or human ET, such as starseeds and healers and light workers and the various likes of those people. What can we do to counteract some of the nefarious operations and programs and things that they have running?
Um,
And even as a human species, what can we do or as a starseed hybrid, what can we do to? This came up yesterday with Selma and some of the questions that were given to her in her channeling. What can we do to move things forward? And
interesting.
that's not just regarding some of the three letter agencies in America who do also operate in other countries, but Earth is such an interesting planet, and as Soma's talking, she can feel herself going into a channeling. So we will pull back and allow you to.
Well, it's interesting that you have come forward, Summer. The Pleiadians may also want to interact in this conversation, and I would like to respond to your question. Again, as I have said, there is many agencies on your planet in the US, of course, and in different parts of Europe and whatever else, and they continue to monitor the various groups. We see that. I am aware of that also. Again, you ask, how is one protected? Really, you speak about star seeds that are coming forward at this time with information. And again, I ask you to be aware as to what I have said regarding um, one's own awakening, as you call it on your planet, one's own spiritual awakening, becoming aware of who you are um, on a spiritual level, why you are actually on the planet. For one to use or ask for protection, I am sure you are being protected at this time. I know that this one is being protected also because he is quite, what would I say, in the English language, he is quite aware of the importance of protecting himself on a spiritual level. And we have in the past, I have witnessed, put yourself in that place where you have asked for protection or you have put protection around yourself, where you can't be touched. Now, I say this so you understand that it is important for star seeds, for channels that are helping to bring information forward. It's important to be aware of the information that one is bringing forward and the impact this is having on not just the channel, but the people who are listening to the information. So when one asks for protection, that is really interesting because I would presume that each individual that puts themselves in that position is protecting themselves and is asking for protection from source, from your God. That is quite key, I feel, at this time. So again, to be able to protect yourself from these situations that you describe, it is important to set the intention before you decide to bring the information forward. and also be aware of, again, the impact it's having. Because as we have seen, there is some interesting questions being asked here this evening, not just around me or our diets or our technology, but various situations that are playing out on your planet that we are aware of. And I have given a response to those situations. So I ask you again, just to be aware of when you decide to come forward with something that you feel will have an impact, a negative impact on you. Be aware as to why one is bringing that information forward and for what reason, and the impact that can have on you from that information. And I don't just mean being targeted, I mean being aware, spiritually aware, as I have discussed on many occasions, and I will raise it again, that you all on an individual level have work to do. And you continue to bring that work forward, because as I can see, not just in this call, you continue to support each other in various ways, either in this call or off the call. That is beautiful. That is relationship. It's friendship. And some of you again explore the idea of the history of the planet. That is okay, well, I am not going to question that. And some of you are looking for answers regarding to various situations that continue to play out on the planet. These questions are important. I am not doubting them by any means. But what I am saying to you is that it is important that you be aware, each one of you, be aware as to where you feel you want to go in that reality. Because again, as I have said, you have listened to me in the past. My message is always to you in a way that helps you to understand. I am aware, we are aware of the situation down there. We do understand sometimes it is quite difficult. And the answers and the projections moving forward sometimes need to be pulled back, because for a lot of you, you are seeking answers that are just not available at this time. And again, there is only so much we can give you. And that might sound interesting because we are coming from a different realm completely and we should have all the answers. That is not the case. We have some insights, okay, and we will share them with you. But again, we are also aware as to the information we are bringing to you, because we are aware of the impact it is having on you. So again, the situation that is playing out in your country, in the US, it continues to do so. Moving forward in 2026 will be interesting. There will be a lot of changes. Some of you will be happy with the changes and some of you will reject them completely. And that is who you are and that is your decision. And we support you in that decision. But again, I'm going to bring it back to you on an individual basis so you understand the importance of who you are. and why you are here on this planet. Again, it's the raised frequency, your own frequency. It's to be in that place where you are quite happy. Some of you are reaching that point and some of you are not. Because the mind relapses again into that place of fear. And the question is asked. And that is, can you support us with this situation that we're having here at this time? And yes, of course, it is happening as we speak. But sometimes that is not enough. And I do understand that, and we do understand that. And so I am taking you back to your greatness. I am making you aware of your greatness. I am making you aware of who you are, why you had come back to Earth for this human experience.
I have another question. Um, um,
Yes.
is there, is there anything I'm not doing that I should be doing for my mission? Specifically, I understand my mission um on a big picture, but which is to be a channel for the Pleiadians. But is there anything, and that is my main mission. I really know that because of a shamanic journey. But is there anything that I'm not doing that I should be doing? Am I on the right track?
Well, can I ask you a question before I answer that question?
Yes.
And this may also help you understand why you have come forward with this question. And it's quite simple, Soma. Are you happy?
Yes. To a certain degree, but I do feel like I want more. I do feel like I should be doing more. I feel like I should be reaching more people. I feel that I'm being blocked. I was shown images many years ago by the Pleiadians of some of my path and where it's going. But I feel that I've been blocked in reaching people. And I find it I'm 51 now. I find it I feel very blocked. Not blocked within myself, but blocked from the outside with regards to platforms. And I was speaking earlier about YouTube, and I feel that there are, and this is not just me, this is everyone that in who's doing similar work, where they are also being blocked from reaching people and sharing information that is important about our history and many different subjects.
Yes, well, you are aware. We have touched on this. I have also touched on it in this conversation. Your history is quite interesting, and it is a quite in-depth story that has been rewritten on numerous occasions. There is some truths in your history, but also there is some information that would possibly be rewritten. You are aware of this also. But again, I'm going to take it back to you. And as you have said, yes, there is aspects of you that are happy, but you're also aware of situations that is pulling that happiness away. And you've just described them in your question, in your answer. And I respect that and I support that also. But again, I am bringing it back to you. And I do understand your mission on this planet at this time. And I am aware that you are being supported by not just the Pleiadians. There is many different races that are connecting with you. And you don't speak of this a lot, but you are connecting to different races. And I can see this at this time. Besides that relationship you are having with these races, I am asking you again to bring it back to self. Forget about the Ashtar command. Forget about the Palladians just for the second. It is significant. It is important. You have been chosen. What they want so much for you to be aware of your true nature. And I say that so you understand that identity that you have of Soma. It's so important that you connect with that energy. Your shamanic experiences in the past and various situations that you have been through. We have listened to you over a period of time through this one here. And we were saddened by your story, and we felt your sadness also. But it is important for you to understand this. When we ask you, are you happy? And you can bring that happiness into your awareness, but you can also block it, which will take your mind into another situation. And that situation again can have various impacts on your overall well-being. And I am not just directing this to you, I am directing it to all who is listening. So again, I have said to this one here on numerous occasions that I want you to go off and try and understand really your experience. And this one here was quite confused at the time, and he had difficulty accepting really what I meant by that. And of course, we were supporting him at that time. And you were also receiving support, like many of you in the room. But again, I'm asking you to be aware. You ought to be aware, really, as to why you came not just to this call this evening, but why you decided to come into this realm to have what you call that human experience. Not knowing at the time that you would be in this situation, looking for these important answers. And they are really necessary to you at this time. I do understand that. But I ask you again to give yourself that importance, that identity of understanding your true nature and trying to embrace that, connect with it on a deeper level. Spending more time with Soma is so important. Spending more time with self is so important. The drama will continue on the planet. It hasn't stopped. There is certain pockets out there, and we can see this, where your planet is quite awake and aware. But there's other parts where it is quite interesting to watch. Because Awareness is not discussed. Spirituality is of no interest. So the ripple effect that you have, that you bring forward to family and friends, this is how it works. And I am sure that you have all come forward to connect to that information that will allow you to feel something within. And it's certainly not fear. Because I don't bring forward, I don't connect with. As this one shared recently, he wasn't in a challenging state, which was interesting. And we discussed the importance of trying to connect with self. And that journey, the impact that had. And some of you chose to go that route and some don't. And that is perfectly your choice. But I ask you again, just to be aware, there's so much happening in your solar system. There's so many races that are interested in your planet at this time. And it's quite exciting when you get that information. You want to explore it more. You go to the history books. You can resource what you can. And that is past time. It can be enjoyable. But it can also have an impact on you in different ways. And I sense you can understand where I'm going with this. Mm.
I do. I do.
So again, thank you so much, Soma. So again, we're asked to be aware as to how this conversation has played out. And I am quite happy to come forward through this one also. And I can connect with you on an individual basis if you call me in. By doing so, we can develop a relationship really that will allow you to understand your greatness and the importance of you being on planet Earth. How you can play a big part, not just in your awakening, but in people around you. I speak about family, friends, and anyone that comes into your awareness through thought. They can also be connected. I ask you to think on that, really, and be aware when you come forward as to really what you want, really, not just from a session like this or a conversation like this. So, as Soma has so kindly said, she invites you in to share in this call, which is really interesting. But be aware as you come forward what you're bringing to the call and the importance of that to other people in the call. And I say that in a way so you understand really you're great. We are slightly different because I come from some other part of the solar system. But I can assure you there is no great difference really when we break it down. Because
I,
you
I,
were, yes, please continue.
I'm sorry. I will be sure to let Dennis know.
Yeah, of this conversation, Soma.
Of how my greatness.
Yes, well, again, it's interesting. I watched that play out. It is quite interesting when I come into the call. I am in the call also, and I am observing in a way like yourself. I'm interacting in a way like yourself. You may not see me, you may not feel me, but I am there. It's quite amusing to watch how you interact and how you interact with the group. And you also have many other visitors here also that continue to observe that really and are quite amused as to how you interact as a family. But again, because you have brought me forward and you have asked me to come through this time, and I have, and I will continue to do so. But again, I want to make you aware of possibility of change within you. And I would ask you to put some thought into that. Really. It's something that you can think of. There is, um, there's no, there's no pushing you in any way that we are suggesting that you change. Not, excuse this one here. But I ask you to just allow yourself to see really the importance of connecting with that side of yourself that is within you all. And I say you all, it's there, and there is moments where that flourishes. I can see it. But there is also, as I've seen, not just in this call, I've seen it and it continues to play out on a day-to-day basis in your reality, where the uncertainty continues to arise. And this can have an impact, really. And in different ways, I say. But it is important again that you become aware of something else that is so much bigger within you. And it's coming from unconditional love. You are aware of this. You have all tapped into that awareness. And you have left it and you come back to it. But I would ask you to pay attention to that area because it will allow you to remove the busyness. When I say the busyness, or maybe in your English dictionary, the noise that you call, remove the noise and go back into that silence and listen to the words in the silence. And that will allow you to sense something within yourself. Paying attention to that area again is so much more inviting. Again, it captures you in the moment and it gives you something that some of you are reaching out for, some of you who haven't actually found it yet. And I don't mean here in the group. I mean, there's many of you that continue to be distracted by um, the illusion. And that is okay also. That is not coming from a judgment. It's allowing you to understand that there is another way. Um, how that plays out for you is entirely up to you. Again, as this one has shared recently, you are the film director and you are creating your own reality. So it's quite interesting. So be aware. And by being aware, it allows you to understand what's going on for you on the inside. Over time, you can explore that relationship that you are having with yourself. And again, that will answer many questions for you. And it will give you the opportunity to ask questions on that level. So it's 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 an interesting time. And it's interesting for me again to be able to share this information with you. This is information that you are all aware of. I am just again highlighting this to you so you understand. Projecting into the future, we do see on your planet it is important. You need to plan. And I do understand that. But again, be aware as to the impact this can have, like, and in various ways, like, and you do understand what I mean by that. So thank you. So if there's no more questions, I will step aside, or if there's anybody else has a question before I go.
Does anyone else have questions? Dennis? Anyone? Nancy? Oh, Dennis, your head just very funny. Your head just suddenly popped up there like it was coming from the command control from a spaceship.
Well, this is an interesting subject, and you are very honest about sharing some feeling of stuckness or dissatisfaction with regards to your role or mission in life of being a channel for the Pleiadians. And you call it a mission, of course, because you put that so much importance on it, which is totally fine. But we have a number of spheres in life. We have our relationship and work and its projects and producing some products or services or results for people. So there's that work role. And you're speaking of that, and you're involved in a work role with a galactic grouping, which is great and very interesting. But we have other areas, other dynamics, other spaces that are intrinsic to our lives also, be it with a lover, be it with our partner, be it with family, be it with community, friends. And if we don't put attention on these areas, there will be some imbalance and there will be some challenge and problems. So this applies to you, Soma. If you could look at someone else and see if someone's putting all their attention on work or putting all their attention on family as to their prime importance and sole duty, then there's imbalance there, because they're as important as it may be, there are other areas, and if we're not engaging with them, we're not engaging with the fullness of life and these different circles and groupings we have: family, work, community. And all this is in the area of doing, looking at doing. And what Christy is saying is so important. There is an other area that deserves our attention, and it's not doing, it is being. And that is the area of presence and being available to ourselves. And it's totally fine that we put importance into the doingness, because we can look at our employer and say, my work is very important and I need to contribute my time and my skills, and feel one has to sacrifice oneself in some way because this work role is important. But you commit too much in one direction and other areas will bite you, because they all need attention. But more important than the doingness is this beingness. And that's what Christy's speaking about, the self. Because
Darling, before you, do you have, what you're saying is very valuable, but I'm aware Christy is, and Renturis is wanting to come out of the channeling. So
Renturis
do
will
you
come
have a
out of
question
channeling.
for him?
sorry, this is not a question.
I know, darling, but before you continue, do you
Oh
have a
yeah, sorry. No,
question
I
for
don't.
Christy?
No,
Okay. Okay,
no.
so before you continue, darling, I just want to say thank you to Christy and this is being recorded, Dennis. Thank you to Christy and Venturis for channeling. And yes, so thank you, Christy.
Yes, well, I am going to step back now, but again, I will just respond to Dennis's comments, which are really interesting, and I'm glad he got the opportunity to come forward again because of um, how he views himself and how he views his um, uh, situation when it comes to relationships, friendships, employment, and whatever else he gives his time to. And he was sharing also really the importance of bringing the focus back to self. And that is something that I have brought forward to you this evening in my sharing. I have given you the opportunity again to question really um, your path and how that plays out for you and how it is fulfilling your needs. I am aware that the Starseed community, the channelers on your planet, enjoy what they do. And some of them, as has been shared, it can be uncomfortable at times. And I have asked that you put your focus of attention on those areas and ask yourself, why am I feeling this way after I channel? Or why do I feel that I have been attacked? Or why do I feel that I need to carry on? And this is why I have made it clear to you um, by coming forward and allowing you to understand the importance of you paying attention to those areas. Dennis has touched on it there, and he has in the past also, and it's quite significant really to him. It is important to him, and it is important to everyone here that is taking this message in, that there comes a time where you have to draw a line in the sand, as you say, and say, well, okay, what do I want here? And that's an interesting question because a lot of the time the individual doesn't understand really what they want because they continue to look on the outside. And again, this is not a judgment, it's just a statement that I make so you understand the importance of being aware of really the information that you're taking in and the impact it's having on you and the ripple effect it's having on people around you. So I am not saying that you abandon everything that you have put so much time and effort into. No, well, what I am saying is that one needs to find the balance, really, as regards to you as an individual, the part that you play on Earth, as regards to bringing forward the information that will allow you to feel that high excitement, to feel that unconditional love, to be aware of that wonderful word that they've used, and it's called balance, really. And I have brought it forward to Soma earlier on, and it was quite simple. Are you happy? And that goes for everyone in the room. And sometimes that is difficult to try and understand because what is happiness on earth? I can view it through my lens and give an opinion, but sometimes it's difficult because I'm up here and you down there having what you call a human experience. And sometimes it's quite chaotic. And I understand that. So what I'm saying is that you all have the awareness to say, yeah, well, okay, moving forward in our groups, I need to change the dynamic for myself. And by doing so, it's going to impact the rest of the people in the room who are interested in listening or maybe just coming into the room to observe what is happening. So that is where I will leave it. It has been really interesting connecting with you all. Some of your questions have been really interesting. Some I have been able to answer, and some I am not able to answer, and there's reasons behind that. And I hope you do understand. But again, please call on me. I am Renturis Voluntarist, seer of the sky, guardian of all. Until we connect again, namaste.
Thank you, Christy and Renturis. Thank you very much for that. I am unsure if I will. Some of that was very personal, and
No
from
problem.
Dennis as well. But
No
Dennis, over
problem.
to you. And I don't like to censor people at all. So even, especially when their opinion is different to mine, or their, and this is not even about what we're speaking, but someone else earlier was saying something, and I said, well, I don't like to censor people, even if their opinion is different to mine, even if their opinion is different to what the Pleiadians are saying. I don't like to censor people. So, Dennis, go ahead. But this is recording, darling. You're on mute, Dennis.
Thank you. So there was no
Will I stop the
criticism.
recording, or will I continue the recording?
No, keep the recording on.
Okay.
There was no criticism from me to you, and while the message applies to you, it applies to all of us. It applies to me. We all have, when we are living on Earth as a human, we have these different spheres of responsibility, engagement with different groups. Some close to us and some distant, some small and some large. And we cannot pretend we're involved in these different groups of family, neighborhood, community, nation, work. And to live life successfully, we have to engage in a balanced way with these. And then I'm just saying, that is something. And then if we just put our measurement of ourselves, putting a judgment or valuing on ourselves on our doingness, we are missing something which is even more important, and that is our beingness. And that is, what does that mean? That means to know oneself, to communicate with oneself, to touch one's own heart space. And each of you is an immortal soul. Each of you is fractal of source. So when you take time to pause in your day and connect with yourself, you are connecting with infinite knowledge, power, and love. And that is available to each and all of us. And I see you putting so much honor and reverence and value to the Pleiadian group, which you are part of. And all that is appropriate and right. But what is closer to the divine and what is closer to source is not the other, as wonderful a group as Pleiadians are, or Arcturians, or Lyrians, or Sirens, or so on. But what is closest to source and divine is you. So that is something that is truly deserving of your attention, of spending time with self, touching the I am presence. And when one goes into that stillness, goes into that aloneness, into that divine space of self, now you change everything. You change your physical body, that it is healthier. You calm and balance your emotional body, which can be turbulent and have its own storms. You balance the mind, which is hit with all sorts of messages and beliefs and programs from others and outside. And one will be more effective in one's doingness because one is turning up the volume of yourself, which is divine. And then you make a difference in your environment. This is true for all of us. There is no stuckness within.
Is there more, darling? Can I pause it to reply?
That is all I have to say for now. So
Okay.
yes.
Thanks, darling. So where were we?
Well, maybe some in the group have some comment on what Christy shared or what I just said there or what you said and would like to say something on it or ask a question.
Oh, go ahead, Christy. You're on mute, Christy.
When we end the recording, I'd like to show a beam that came in recently to the group before I go, if that's okay.
Please, yes, please go ahead. Do I need to give you ability to
Jeremy as host, yeah, co-host.
let me see. I don't
do
think
you-
it's co-host. I think it's another one. Dennis, can you
Okay.
remember what it is? Because if I make you co-host, I'm not able to um upload it with the recording.
No, we can knock the recording off. So,
No, I mean the
what?
whole thing. The
Oh,
whole
sorry. Oh, sorry.
um let me see. I think if I go to your three buttons.
And Dia has a question, I think.
Okay. Let me just thanks, darling. Let me just find where this um share button is. Boost tools. Look. Enable.
Okay, so I have shared.
Say again, Christy?
You've given it to me.
Oh, great, great, great.
So, yeah. So if you want to end the recording before I share it,
No, because Dia has a question, so
Oh,
maybe
please go ahead. Yeah.
yes, and then at the end we can share.
It's not so much a question. I just wanted to thank Renturis. Is that how you say his name? I appreciate just his beingness, and I have a greater appreciation for who he is. Um, I was feeling very fired up since yesterday's call. And it what he said aligned with some of the things I was feeling about it anyway, and coming back to self. And that's really a big part of where I am right now in my journey, is to really going within and expanding that out.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's all I really wanted to say about that, that I appreciated the conversation we had.
I think what you're saying is really important, Dia. In 2019 or 2020, I was very fired up with the current situation at the time, and I had to go into the garden and connect and ground and center myself and step back into myself without the noise, without outside world, without all of that stuff, So I resonate with what you're saying, and also Renturis and Christy.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. I'm good on that.
Okay. And Dennis, should I be asking the question to Dia of?
Are you still supposed to be recording, or are you pausing?
I don't know. I might press record.
You are recording.